Hey guys, this is Rachel from Cypress Textiles, and today we're going to be making the Quasar motif from the 2022 VVCAL or Vibrant Vintage Crochet Along. I'm going to be using this Katona and a size 3mm hook, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is, of course, make that slip knot and chain 3, slip stitch in the third chain from the hook to make a ring. And of course you can do magic ring, you can chain more, whatever you like, but I like to chain 3 just to have the center be a little more closed up. So that's our center ring there, and now I'm going to go straight in with the beginning double crochet. So that's just going to be a single crochet and a chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and that's our first double crochet of the round. And now make 11 double crochet into the center, so you end up with a total of 12. Okay, so I have 12 double crochet now, including that beginning DC, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first DC to join. And when you do, just make sure that you grab these top 2 portions of the loop there, of that chain. That way you don't have this big hole there. So that's my slip stitch, and make sure that you don't make this slip stitch too tight as well. And into the next stitch, we're going to go ahead and get started with some puff stitches. So just kind of elongate your loop a little bit so that it can be about the height of a puff stitch. Yarn over and insert your hook into the next stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. And repeat that 2 more times. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. And now you've got 7 loops on your hook. And draw the yarn through all 7 loops, and that's your puff stitch. And then we're going to chain 2. So chain 1, chain 2, and then just make a puff stitch in the next stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook and pull up a loop 3 times. All right, and you've got 7 loops on your hook, and draw the yarn through all loops. And then chain 2, and that's our repeat. Just keep doing your puff stitch and chain 2 until you have 12 puff stitches and 12 chain spaces. Okay, here's how that round looks before you join. So I've got 2 chains on the hook here. I'm ready to join, and how I join into a puff stitch is I just go straight into the chain space directly after the puff stitch. And that's what I feel like, and it's actually the chain, it's not the chain space. So it's through these top 2 loops of the chain itself, and then when I make my slip stitch, I feel like that looks like the other puff stitches. So now we're going to work straight into the next chain space with the beginning 2DC cluster. So just go straight in with a single crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet, and those together make your first 2DC cluster. Now chain 2 and make a full 2DC cluster in the same chain space. So yarn over, insert your hook and pull up a loop, and draw the yarn through 2 loops on the hook, and then repeat that. Yarn over, insert your hook, draw up a loop, and pull the yarn through 2 loops on the hook. Now you have 3 loops, so draw the yarn through all 3 loops, and then we're going to chain 2 again, and now just make a single crochet in the next chain space. Okay, and here's going to be our repeat, is going to be chain 2, 2DC cluster, chain 2, 2DC cluster in the same chain space, and then chain 2, single crochet in the next chain space. All right, and that is how our repeat is going to be. Okay, here's how the round looks, and I did go ahead and join with the slip stitch in the first 2DC cluster here, the beginning 2DC cluster. So for the next round, we're going to work into this first chain space. Go ahead and do a slip stitch in the first chain, and then single crochet. You could also just go straight into a single crochet, which I think is how the pattern goes. That's fine. You can just go straight into a single crochet there. And then 5 double crochet in this next chain 2 space. So we're going to make 5 double crochet, And now we're gonna make a picot. So just chain 3 and single crochet in the DC that we just made before, but you're gonna go into the top side bars of it. So how we're gonna do that is you're not gonna go into the top of the stitch like you normally would, because that would be kind of awkward to work backwards. You're gonna go into the top side of the stitch here with a single crochet. So just go into that part of the stitch, the top half, and then make a double crochet. And you can see where a single crochet, you can see where the single crochet is in the top side bars of the double crochet right there. And that's going to close our picot. If that's too confusing, you could also make a regular picot, which is just chain 3 and then single crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. But I just like how this picot comes out better. But if you like the other way as well, that's totally fine. So we're gonna go and do 5 double crochet in the next chain space. And this is gonna be like a flower petal. So we're making 5 double crochet in this chain space, and then we're gonna anchor this flower petal with a single crochet. So there's our 5 doubles. We're gonna anchor it in this next chain space with a single crochet. And then just continue around. So the next thing we're going to do is the beginning of the repeat, which is 5 double crochet. And make your picot, chain 3, single crochet in the top half of this double crochet, and 5 double crochet in the next chain space. And then when you anchor it with your single crochet, you can continue around working in this manner until you're back at the beginning. All right, and when you're finished, you're gonna have 6 of these petals. Okay, so this round is finished. I just need to join the round, and you can see the petals kind of stick up a little bit, but we are gonna anchor them. I did make them this way so they have a little more texture. You can see once they're anchored, I just like how these petals are kind of more, they have like a shape to them because there are 5 double crochet on each side. So they kind of have a more 3D look to them. So once they're anchored, they won't stick up this much. So just make a slip stitch in the first single crochet of the round. And now we're gonna start making loops on the back. So first we're gonna make a single crochet in the exact same stitch where we just joined with our slip stitch. So just go back in with the single crochet, chain 3, and now you're gonna lean the petal toward you and look for the middle double crochet of this 5 DC right here. Just look for the middle one. So you can estimate, but I think it's like right here. And then it is this one, it is this stitch right here. So when you go into the bottom back bars of it, you can just pick up 2 back bars in that general area and just pick them up like that so that you're not going to see it from the front. So it's not a full back post stitch. It's just going through these 2 back bars of the bottom part of the center double crochet, and then just pull up your loop and make your single. Okay, so now your single crochet is not visible from the front in any way. And now chain 3 again, and then look for the middle double crochet of this next group and grab the 2 back bars and make your single crochet. And like I said, as long as it's in that area, then you're good. So now chain 3, and then you're gonna find this center single crochet right here and just make a single crochet. All right, so that's the repeat. So when you look from the front, you can only see the single crochets that are right here. But when you bend the petal forward, you can see that there's 3 chain spaces behind here, and we're gonna work off of that on the next round. So chain 3, single crochet in the bottom back 2 bars of that center double, chain 3, find the center double crochet of the next 5 DC group, and you're gonna have to kind of get your hook into those 2 back bars, make a single crochet, chain 3, and find that center single crochet and make a single crochet in it. Okay, so we're just going to keep going that way. If you tilt the petals inward, you can see the loops that are forming here, and go all the way around till you're back to the beginning. All right, so I've made my slip stitch in the first single crochet of the round to join it. And so our next round is really simple. I'm just going to slip stitch in the first chain and go straight into the chain, not into the chain space itself. So then single crochet in the same chain space, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain space, all the way around till you're back to the beginning. And the next round is exactly the same. So I'm going to show you when I join this round, and then I'll show you when I start the next round, and it is exactly the same as this one. Just single crochet and chain 3 in the next, and single crochet in the next chain space. Okay, I've joined that round, and you have to pay attention to where the round starts because it starts to just look like it's all chain loops at some point. But go ahead and slip stitch into the first chain, single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet in the next stitch, and just make your way around. This is exactly the same as the previous round. Okay, so we've got 18 single crochet and 18 chain spaces, and we're gonna start round 8 right now. So for round 8, go ahead and make a slip stitch in the first chain. And when we make this special single crochet, what you're gonna do is you want to pin down this petal. So we're going to take the back loop of the center chain of the 3 chain picot. So whenever you chain 3 to make your picot, find that center chain and go into the back loop. So insert your hook through the back loop and insert your hook underneath the chain 3 space. And that way when you make your single crochet, you're anchoring the petal to the chain 3 space by the picot. Now chain 3, I'll show you it again in a second. Single crochet in the next chain space, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain space, and chain 3. And now we're back to where we're going to make the special single crochet again. So go into the back loop of the center chain of your picot and under the chain 3 space right here that's behind the petal, and then make your single crochet. All right, so now the petals are anchored down, and you can see how these ones stick up and these ones are anchored. All right, and that's going to be our repeat all the way around, and just make sure that you're anchoring all the petals as you go. My chain loop. All right. Okay, so here's how the motif looks so far. It looks a little wonky, but our next round and then the final round are really going to shape it out into that hexagon shape. So the first thing we're going to do here is slip stitch in the first chain and then single crochet in the same chain space, chain 3, and now into the next chain space, go ahead and do single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, all in the same chain space. And that's going to make our corner loop. And this is where we're going to start to get our hexagon. So chain 3, single crochet in the next chain space, and repeat that again, the next chain space, chain 3, and now we're at the corner. So in the next chain space, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. Okay, and that's going to be our repeat. You can see how the side looks there so that you work all the way around till you're back to the beginning. Okay, so I've gone ahead and joined with the slip stitch in the first single crochet of the round, and now I'm going to do 3 single crochet in the first chain space, and this is going to be our final round. 3 single crochet in the corner, chain space, and 3 single crochet in the next chain space as well, So in the first 3 chain spaces, you're going to make 3 single crochet. And now look at this next single crochet and make a single crochet in there. 3 singles in the next chain space. 1 single crochet in this next stitch. And then you're ready to start your repeat again with 3 single crochet in these next 3 chain spaces. Okay, so we're going to start our next repeat and work all the way around there. Okay, and I do have a motif that's already finished, so you can see how it does turn out to be a rectangle on that very last round. It really pushes everything into place, and you can always just block it to where it's a perfect hexagon, but once you join them all up, you should be okay. So this is the Quasar motif from the 2022 VVCAL, and I will see you guys in the next one.